welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about what happened on NFL 2025 season, week 7 scores. Well, this weekend was played the week 7, where they finished the week, where with the Monday night doubleheader, where the Detroit Lions defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Seattle Seahawks defeated the Houston Texans. So for that reason, I'm recording this video where I'm going to talk about the results and how are the standings to our 7 weeks. Okay, so let's start. Well, this week 7 started the last Thursday with the Thursday night football, where in a divisional game, unfortunately for me, my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, lost against the Cincinnati Bengals 33-31. About this game, this was a tremendous game. I'm not gonna lie. The Bengals played its best game of the season, and the Steelers again played a bad football, especially the defense side. After played a very good game in the last 3 games before this game, the defense played a very bad game. The Steelers started to win the game 10-0 in the end of the in the beginning of the second quarter, but after that the Steelers defenses allowed 20 points without answer. The Bengals took advantage of that and they won that game. Also, in the last quarter, the Steelers took the lead of the game for 3 times in the beginning of the second quarter, but they led more than 1 minute to the Bengals. Joe Flacco moved the ball and they scored a touchdown, a field goal, and they won the game 33-31. Also, in the second quarter, Aaron Rodgers threw by 2 interceptions that the Bengals converted into touchdowns, and that's what the difference to lose that game. With this loss, the Steelers lost his second game of the season, and the Bengals won his third game of the season and the first victory since Joe Burrow was injured in the week 2. In the Sunday, for a third straight week, there was a game played in London, England, but this time the game was played in the Wimbledon, where in this game the Los Angeles Rams didn't have any problem and defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-7. Before this game, I thought that this game was going to be close, but the Rams dominated the game from the beginning to the end, where they were leading the game 21-0 in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and in that moment the game was over and the Rams scored 14 more points, the Jaguars 7 points, and in the end the Jaguars won the game. With this victory, the Rams improved to a 5-2 record, and the Jaguars lost a back-to-back games, and they lost his third game of the season. In another game, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Minnesota Vikings 28-22. About this game, this was a very great game, I'm not going to lie. It was very close, but this showed the difference between a top team, a contending team, and another team that is good but can compete nor defeat a top team. The game was very close, but the Eagles executed better, and they showed that why they are the reigning champion team, and they won this game. With this victory, the Eagles returned to the victory after a back-to-back losses, and they improved to a 4-2 record, and the Vikings fell to a 3-2 record, a record of 500. And another game, the New England Patriots traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, and defeated Tennessee Titans 31-13. About this game, the Titans started in a better way because they were leading 10-3 in the beginning of fourth quarter, but after that, the Patriots took the lead took the control of the game. They scored 28 points in the second and third quarter. They took the lead of the game and they won the game easily, 31-13. Actually, this was a very emotional, important game for the New England Patriots head coach Mike Rabel, because remember that he was the Tennessee Titans head coach during 3 years, and he was fired 3 years ago. Also, remember that the last week Tennessee Titans fired his head coach Bill Callahan the last week, and they wanted to make some change, but in the end the Patriots had an easy week and they won the game. With this victory, they improved to a 5-2 record, and the Titans continue losing even that they make the change in the head coach position. In another game, in a very boring game, the Panthers defeated the New York Nets 13-6. To be honest, This was a very awful and ugly game. And the Jets had a lot of possibilities to win this game, but they wanted the opportunity. And you with this, and if you watched this game, you understood why why the Jets are a very bad team. The Panthers took advantage that they play against the Jets, and they won this game. With this victory, the Panthers improved to a 4-3 record. I think that this is the first time in more than 3 years that the Panthers have a record of above 500 after 7 weeks of games. And the Jets are winless. They lost his 7 straight loss of the 7 straight loss of the season. And let's see what is going to happen, because if the head coach Aaron Glenn is going to continue, he's going to be fair. And in this game, Justin Field was benched in the halftime because he's playing a very ugly game. In another game, Cleveland Browns didn't have any problem and defeated the Miami Dolphins 31-6. About this game, I predicted that the Browns were going to win this game, but I thought that this game was going to be close. To be honest, both teams are very bad, but what is the difference? Miami Dolphins are a mess. This team this team is broken, and most probably is at the end of the season or during this season, the Dolphins are going to fire his head coach McDaniels. About the Browns, they took the advantage that they play against the Dolphins, a very bad team, and that had internal problems, and this wasn't an excuse, and they won this game. With this victory, the Browns won his second game of the season, and the Dolphins fell to a 1-0 record. They are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team. Tua Tagovailoa threw 3 interceptions. He was benched in the fourth quarter. And the most probably Mark McDaniels is not going to return to the Dolphins in the next season. The most probably he could be fired during the season. And let's see if Tua Tagovailoa is going to continue with the team in the next season. In another game, the Chicago Cubs defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-14. Here the big difference, the game was very close, but the big difference was the second quarter, where the Chicago Bears outscored the New Orleans Saints 17-7. They took the lead of the game. They were leading 27, and that was a great lead that the Bears could handle. The Saints could never reduce that gap, and the Bears won the game easily. With this victory, the Bears improved to a 4-2 record. This is they had the same record 1 year ago. So let's see if they remember that since they started 4-2 the last season, they lost like the 7 straight games. So let's see if this is not the case. This is not a similar case this season. And about the New Orleans Saints, they lost his 6th game of the season. They are one of the worst teams in the league. In another game, in a divisional game, the Kansas City Chiefs didn't have any problem. They defeated shoot down the Las Vegas Raiders 31-0. I understand that the Chiefs are a better team than the Raiders. The Chiefs are a top team and a contending to win the Super Bowl. But come on, I know that, and I know that the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league. But you know, when there is a divisional game, most of the time the game are closer than in a traditional game. So I expected before this game that this game was going to be closer. But come on, the Raiders play a very bad game. The Chiefs play a tremendous game where the Patrick Mahomes threw a 3 interception, and the Chiefs won the game easily, and they shoot down the Raiders. With this victory, the Chiefs won a back-to-back games. Now, for first time in the season, or the second time in the season, they have a record about 500, and be careful with the Chiefs, because after starter in a very bad way the season, they are a record of 500. They are improving in this football level, and be careful with them. And the Raiders lost is 5th loss of the season. And in another game, the Indianapolis Colts traveled to the SoFi Stadium for second time in the year. We remember that they traveled in the week 3, where they lost against the Rams, and they defeated Los Angeles Chargers 38-24. To be honest, I thought that this game was going to be closer. I expected a better game for the Chargers, but the Colts dominated the game from the beginning to the end. The big difference here was the second quarter, where the Colts scored 17 points without answer. And they increased the lead, and they were leading in the halftime 20 23-3. That difference was enough because the Raiders, the Colts score in the first drive of the second quarter touchdown. They increased the lead 31-3, and it was impossible for the Chargers. After that, the Colts reduced his football level because they were leading by more than 20 points. The Chargers scored more points, but in the end, the Colts won the game. With this victory, the Colts improved to a 6-1 record, the best record in the NFL in this moment. Nobody expected that before the season, and the Chargers lost his third game of the season. The Chargers started very great the season where they started 3-0, where they defeated his divisional rivals, but after that, they have started to play in a very bad football, and now they only have one game above 500. In another game, I think one of the best game the best game of the week, one of the best game of the season. The Broncos defeated the New York Giants 33-32. About this game, it was very funny, but the most funny was in the fourth quarter, because in the beginning of the fourth quarter, the New York Giants were leading the game 19-0. Yeah, 19-0. The Broncos hadn't scored any point in the first two quarters, but in the fourth quarter, the Broncos scored 33 points. Yeah, 33 points, all the points in the fourth quarter, and they won this game. About this game, you know that you can blame the Giants kicker because he missed 2 extra points that could have given the victory to the Giants, because they could have 34 points and the games could have been over. But come on, the Giants, the defense that unity was playing a tremendous game in the first two quarters, where they didn't allow any points. In the fourth quarter, they allowed 33 points. So. And they won the Broncos won the game with a field goal in the last play of the game. To be honest, the Giants play a great game, but come on, when you play against a top team, you need to play a great game in all the game, not only in 3 quarters. And the Broncos show they are one of the best teams in the league. So with this victory, the Broncos improved to a 5-2 record, and the Giants fell to a 2-5 record. In another game, the Green Bay Packers battled more than I expected, but they defeated the Arizona Cardinals 27-23. The Packers battled more than I expected, but in the end, they could get the victory. Again, the Cardinals, for a back-to-back week, they had the opportunity to win this game, but again, they missed the opportunity, and the Packers defenses show why they are one of the best unity in the football. So this was a great performance where Micah Parsons played his best game of the season, where he made 3 sacks. That the most important was in the last quarter, the last one that stopped the Cardinals offenses. And with this victory, the Packers improved to a 4-1 record, and the Cardinals fell to a 2-5 record. And in another game, in a divisional game, the Dallas Cowboys did surprise and defeated the Washington Commanders 44-22. About the Commanders, they have been playing a very bad football, but I never expected that the Cowboys weren't going to win this game easily. About the Cowboys, they outplayed and outscored the Commanders since the beginning, where they started to win the game 17-8 in the first quarter. Later, they scored another 10 points in the second quarter, and in the halftime, the Cowboys were the surprise, and they were leading 27-16. After that, I thought that the Commanders were going to make some adjustment in the halftime, but not. The Cowboys continued to play a very great football. They scored another 14 points in the fourth quarter, and the game was over. And in the end, the Cowboys won the game 44-22. With this victory, the Cowboys improved to a 3-1 record, and the Commanders fell to a 3-4 record, a record below 500. So this is something that nobody expected after the great performance from the Commanders the last season. And in the Sunday Night Football, in a close game, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Atlanta Falcons 2010. I think that the Falcons wasted a lot of opportunities, because remember that most of the important players in the 49ers were injured, and they didn't play this game. A game for a four for time in the season. Mike Jones started as a starting quarterback because Brook Purdy couldn't play. But about this game, the 49ers defense played a tremendous game. The 49ers line offense did a great game where the running game they ran by 174 yards. They established the running game, the 49ers, and they won this game easily. I think that the Falcons wasted a lot of opportunities where they could win this game, but in the end, the 49ers took advantage to playing home, and they won the game. With this victory, the 49ers improved to a 5-2 record, and the Falcons fell to a 3-2 record. And yesterday, in the Monday Night Football, in the doubleheader, in the first game, the Detroit Lions defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-9. Before this game, the Buccaneers were the best team in the NFC, where I expected a close game, but in the end, the Lions show why they are one of the best teams in the NFC, and they are the team to beat. Because remember, in the last season, they were the number one set in the NFC. About this game, the Lions started to win it where they were leading in the halftime for 14-3. After that, I thought that in the second half the Buccaneers were gonna to improve, but not. The Lions continue to continue to dominate the game, and in the end they won the game 24-9. With this victory, the Lions improved to a 5-2 record, and with the loss, the Bucs lost his second game of the season. And the last game of the week, the Seattle Seahawks defeated the Houston Texans 27-19. About this game, sorry. The Seahawks started to win the game 14-0 in the first half. They took the lead of the game, and it was impossible for the Texans to reduce that gap. They scored 2 field goals in the second quarter. They reduced the gap to a 8-point difference in the halftime. But after that, the Seattle Seahawks scored 30 points in the third quarter. It was impossible for the Texans because they couldn't score. It was very. The Texans only could score 2 field goals in the third quarter. The Seahawks increased the lead, and they won this game easily. With this victory, the Seahawks improved to a 5-2 record, and the Texans loss is for loss of the season. So, how are the standings in the AFC? In the East Division, the Patriots are leading the division with a 5-2 record. They have a 4-win streak, and the Bills that didn't play, they stay in the second place with a 4-2 record. The Dolphins and the Jets are two of the worst teams in the league. They are eliminated, and about the Jets are the only winless team in the NFL. In the North Division, even that the Steelers lost against the Bengals, the Steelers are leading this division with a 4-2 record. The Steelers wasted the opportunity to create a lead of three games against his divisional rivals, and now the Steelers lost his first game against the divisional rivals. The Bengals improved to a 3-4 record, and they won his first game since Joe Burrow got injured. The Browns improved to a 2-4 record, but they are eliminated, and the Ravens that didn't play are in the bottom with a 1-4 record. And in the South Division, the Colts are the best team in the AFC and in the league with a 6-1 record. The Jaguars that lost back-to-back losses, they stay in the second place with a 4-3 record. And about the Texans and the Titans are eliminated. I expected more about the Texans, but now that they are 2 games below 500. It looks like that they are not going to win this division, and they are going to improve, and they are going to compete to enter to the playoffs as a wildcard team. And the West Division, the Broncos, for first time in the season, they are leading this division. They have a 5-2 record. They are not playing a very great football, but in the end, they are winning. That is the most important, and they have a 4-winning streak. The Jaguars that started very great the season, they started 3-0. After that, they have a 1-3 record after that, and they fell to the second place. The Chiefs that 2 weeks ago, they have a 2-3 record, a record below 500. Now they have a back-to-back victories, and they are tied with the Chargers. So be careful with the Chiefs because they are starting to play a very great football, and be careful with them because they can get the lead of this division, and the Raiders are in the bottom and eliminated. And in the NFC, in the East Division. The Eagles come back to the victory where they won its fifth game of the season, and they are leading the division easily. The Cowboys, because they defeated the Commanders, they took the second place of the division with a 3-3-1 record. The Commanders fell to the third place in the division. They have a back-to-back losses. They are not playing the great football that they showed the last season. And about the Giants, they could have get his third victory and put in the race to enter to the playoff. They lost his fifth loss of the season, but they are playing a very great football. So I know that this is very difficult to process this kind of loss of what happened in Denver the last Sunday. But it looks like that they have a great team, a good team, and they can compete this year. So let's see if they can continue with this great team, and the next season they can make something important in the North Division. It looks like the best division in this moment because all the teams have a record of 500 or above 500. The Packers are leading the division with a 4-1-1 record. The Lions have a 4-2 record. They're in the second place. The Bears that won the game are in the third place with a 4-2 record, and the Vikings are in the bottom with a 3-3 record. The Bears that started the season 0-2, now they have a 4-winning streak. So I know, in my opinion, I think that they can compete against its divisional rivals, but be careful because they have won for victories until this moment. In the South, even that the Buccaneers lost yesterday game, they are leading the division 5-2, but be careful with the Panthers because after starting the season 1-3, they have a 3-winning streak. Be careful because they are one game below the Bucs. The Falcons that lost the last Sunday, they fell to a 500 record, and the Saints are in the bottom, one of the worst teams in the league. And in the NFC West, there is a very great division because three teams are tied with the same record of 5-2. They are the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams. The 49ers are in the top because they have defeated the Seahawks and the Rams this season. And about the Cardinals, after starting the season 2-0, they have lost five straight games, and they are eliminated. So I hope you like this video. If you have any comment or suggestion, you can write me in the social media platform. So see you next video. Gmail.